Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Today, we are into the second phase of our webinar series in terms of digital transformation and role of finance. Just to give you a brief about Saleh Auditing, myself, I'm partner in the Saleh Auditing for business transformation, consulting, and financial services. We have been in the services industry since 2006, covering the auditing and assurance services, and also into the consulting side, including business transformation, ERP, taxation, and ESR and regulatory requirements. Today, we have the pleasure to be joined by Mr. Shahid Ilyas, who's going to present the second phase of the webinar series. Mr. Shahid, if you can take it up and give us the introduction.
All right. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning and good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. So, just to give you the brief introduction of myself, I'm Shahid Ilyas. I'm a senior finance professional with over 22 years of industry experience. So, I'm at the moment I'm doing consultancy. So last week, so this is the 4-week webinar. So last week we talked about the future role of finance professionals. So in this week we will be discussing the digital transformation. So digital transformation is the modern day fancy terminology. It goes beyond just the technology advancement. So it is about significant change in how businesses operate, and it involves completely changing the traditional business processes, strategies, and how organizations are set up by using the advanced digital technologies. Advanced digital technologies are often regarded as or termed as the disruptive technologies or emerging technologies. For instance, machine learning, artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, augmented reality, virtual reality, etc. So these are the technologies that have the potential to completely, significantly impact the businesses, the industries, and the entire societies. For instance, the mobile apps that we use in our daily lives is the simplest example of how technology is actually changing our lives. So the digital transformation is not just a choice for the companies anymore. It is a must for the success and survival of the organization in the world where being innovative and adaptable is crucial. Digital transformation is not just about using the digital tools. It is a change in the culture of the organization, challenging old ways of doing things, and encouraging the mindset that values quick adaptability, that values decision based on data, that values continuous improvement. When organizations embrace digital transformation, they are becoming leaders and innovators. So it is like upgrading to the latest and greatest version to shape the future. All right. So I have a little presentation prepared for you. So let me just go through with it and let me share it. So we'll jump right into it, dive different aspects of digital transformation. All right. I'm sure you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. We can see. Yes.
All right. So let's because as I said that this is the digital transformation is the fancy terminology. So you often get to hear this, but let's understand exactly what is digital transformation. So digital transformation is the use of new technologies. New technologies, I mean, new information system, the new supply chain management system, the let's say people management system, and different systems that we use in our businesses in different segments of the businesses. So we really mean by new technology. So use of the new technology and the business operations, the business workflows. So digital transformation is the process of using the new technology and the business workflows to automate, automate, and modernize the business operations. For example, let's take an example to understand completely this, the example of the Amazon. Amazon started as an online bookstore, but rapidly evolved into a global e-commerce giant by leveraging advanced digital technologies. For instance, they revolutionized retail industry from brick and mortar. Brick and mortar means from the physical stores to the efficient online platform. They employed artificial intelligence and machine learning to optimize their supply chain management, and even they employed predictive analysis to forecast the customer demands. So this is basically mean by employing the technology, the solutions, and then complement it with the business operations, the big workflows, and you can then transform your whole business. So, in other words, digital transformation is not just mean by employing the technology, or it is not just mean by automating the business processes. It is a combination of optimizing the business processes, automating the business processes, and then using the technologies, and then combining all together gives you the digital transformation. And mind you, let me tell you by what does it mean by the optimizing the business processes. You see, in large or medium sized businesses, there are so many processes going on at the moment. I mean, in one point in time. So, standardizing the process to the extent that it becomes a best practice and it gives you the maximum yield, the maximum benefit is called the optimizing the process. Okay, there are two terminologies that are used in digital transformation. One is the digitization, and the other is the digitalization. So, many people confuse both terms, and they think the both terms are the same, but they are actually not the same. So by digitization, what we mean is the conversion of the physical or analog records into the digital. So let's understand within an example. And the best example is the electronic health records in the hospitals. In the older days, when you used to go to the hospital, there used to be a file, a physical file where all of your reports and all your health records were filed in that file, and you need to really go through every record to identify exactly what you're looking for. So it was cumbersome. But now, in most of the good hospitals, they have your separate medical identification number, and every record of every report, every test, every analysis, so everything of your medical history is recorded as a digital record against that separate identity of your medical number. So whenever you go to the doctor just access your medical record by just going to your medical record number, and then the whole list of reports and the history is available to them, and they can analyze those information. They can quickly read what has happened before with you, and they can really in a good position to suggest the appropriate advice to you. So this is the example of the digitization. Now let's understand what is digitalization. So digitalization is the automation of the business process. As I just mentioned you, the optimization of the business process. So optimization means the standardization of the business process. Like, for example, let's take an example of a McDonald's. When you go to the McDonald's, there is a standardized process of ordering a food and receiving the food from the McDonald's. So likewise, the digitalization, optimization, there is one more aspect which is called automation. So automation means digitizing the whole process, whole manual process into the digital process. So let's again take an example to understand this particular concept called digitalization is the automatic processing of checks. So you often get to see the checks that are prepared by hand, manual processing of checks. So today, the good information systems and onto the good digital tools available, you can now process the checks from the system. So that means that you have actually automated the manual processing of checks. So what is the benefit of digitizing this manual process? Number one is that because you are processing the check from the system, within the system, the errors would be minimized, because you would be taking the value from the system, you would be taking the date and other information, the vendor's name, let's say, or customer's name or whatever, you would be taking that from the system. So system would be telling you all the information, and the other benefit of the automating the check processing is that all the records of the check processing would still be available in the system because it is prepared in the system. So that means that when you would need to analyze the payment, and you would need to compare the payment and payment related information of particular vendor or customer, you can really just access the system and retrieve some reports, and you would have the information, and compare it with the manual process where you manually prepare the checks. So you won't have the digital records available with you. So whenever you need to analyze anything, you would need to go physically check the checks you have prepared. So this is the example of the digitalization. So in summary, digital transformation There are two concepts. Digitization, it is like converting analog information to digital, and digitalization means automating the manual process. All right. So this was the introduction of digital transformation, what exactly it is. Now let's see certain examples from the industry. For example, Airbnb, they transformed the hospitality industry by connecting the travelers with hotels, offering unique accommodations. Uber transformed the mobile apps and logistics industry by connecting riders with the drivers. Netflix, they transformed the entertainment industry. They started with the video DVD renting services, and they ultimately transformed into a video streaming service. Shopify empowered the small startups and small and medium enterprises, so people can now start their online store on an efficient platform of Shopify. So Zoom turned around the video conferencing and remote collaboration. So now people can, as we are doing at the moment, we are collaborating. I'm sitting in Pakistan and you're sitting in different parts of the world, and we are collaborating on a platform. So UPS has undergone a digital transformation to modernize its logistics industry, and they even employed supply chain management tools to optimize their supply chain management. And then at the last, there is Coursera. We know Coursera is offering lots of online courses. So they actually are they providing access to courses from top universities and organizations and individuals. And I forgot to mention one more business which is quite flourishing in Pakistan. It's called Bikeya. So Bikeya is a service. It is a mobile based platform which is providing unique services. So it's a motorbike hailing service, and it is providing lots of services like they can pick you and drop you somewhere. They can get you food. If you want to deliver something, they can deliver it for you. So this is a very, very handy service available, and it is really making the difference by not only providing these services. Even the bikers, they are earning bread by using this technology. So these technologies are actually changing their lives. So these are the examples, some of the examples of the digital transformation happening in the industry, in the different industries, by the way. And we can see that it is happening all around the industry. All right, so let's understand some of the advantages of the benefits of the digital transformation. You see, when as we have understood by now that digital transformation is, by digital transformation, we mean that the optimization of the business processes, then optimization to automation of the business processes, and then the new technologies, the involvement of the new technologies, like, as I said, the good information system like ERPs, the supply chain management systems, the people management systems, the logistics management systems. So these are the technologies are implemented. And then all these technologies coupled with the good human resources, a good team management, let's say. So team plus all these technologies combined together, they provide maximum benefits to the organization. For instance, let's discuss one by one. It helps improve the operations, right? Automation of business processes saves time and enhances the information accuracy and reduces the hassle. So this positions the team in a unique position to efficiently manage operations and enables them to respond quickly to the evolving business landscape. And when you have technologies, like, as I mentioned, different technologies to manage different aspects of the business, so it adds that efficiency to the operations. Now, the second is the stakeholders management, the customers and the vendors. These are, by the way, there are many stakeholders, but these are the biggest stakeholders of the business. So when you employ the business, the digital transformation, and you get the benefit of the digital transformation, the biggest benefit that you can get from the digital transformation is to be able to deliver goods and services to your customer in time. If you can satisfy your customers, that can be the biggest digital transformation benefit. And by employing all those that we have already discussed, by optimizing, automating, and implementing different technologies, turning around your business operations, you can obviously achieve that level. And at the same time, processing of vendor payments in time, because the ultimate advantage the vendors can get from you is when they deliver you timely services, they need they would expect timely payment received from you. So if you can efficiently manage their payment process, it would be a really win-win situation for you. And let me here tell you a quick example from the real world. One of my customers, whom I provide the consultancy, they used to have a manual vendor payment process. So, and I am the witness of that. That there used to be a delay in the vendor payments. Even payments take 10 days to from one table to another. It would take The whole process would take 10 days, and the vendors used to be really pissed off. And even in that manual process, there used to be errors of let's say different calculation mistakes, or human errors and all that. So I mean, the company contacted me, and I offered them the digital transformation solution for vendor, and then we automated the whole process. So, and believe me or not, that when we transformed that process, so the vendor payment used to process within the system, so there were no more those manual physical papers. So they used to just, I mean, the user just used to click certain information, certain buttons, certain clicks, and then the vendor used to be processed, and they were, I mean, the errors used to minimize, and we really transformed that vendor management process. And from 10 days, it got up to like a half a day process. So this is the power of the digital transformation. Then it helps accelerate business growth, because digital transformation conserves valuable resources in terms of time and energy for the teams involved. So this enables teams to concentrate on the value-adding activities rather than transactional activities. And when you add value to the business, so of course, when you focus on the value-adding, so that converts into a business growth. Then is the optimizes the operational costs. Yes, it does. Digitalization, and optimization of business processes, minimizing inefficiencies from the operations. So with digital transformation, you actually minimize the inefficiencies, and inefficiencies do have a cost associated with it. So let's take an example here of the inventory management system. So if you have a good inventory management system in place in the organization, and in addition to inventory management system, you have a good inventory management process, optimized inventory management process in place, you can guarantee, or you can ensure that you can purchase your inventories at the best attractive prices. And you would make sure that when inventory is available when it is required, and that the obsolete or unwanted inventory is not accumulated over times. So all these create inefficiencies. So you can avoid all these inefficiencies through the use of the digital transformation. So in other words, it optimizes your operational costs. So it empower employees. Yes, it empower employees with the smarter and more efficient tools. Employees find it easier to get their work done. For example, let's take an example of the finance professionals. So in the absence of the digital transformation, good digital tools, they would spend their time in preparing the data, in carrying the data. So they would spend less time in analyzing and using the data for the future growth for the value adding activity. They would rather be spending their time to just gather and preparing the data. So with digital transformation, automation, and good digital tools, they readily have available. They have readily available the data with them, and they spend their time in analyzing and doing the predictive analysis, and prepare analysis to collaborate with the other business teams for the different strategic option to model the different strategic options. So these were the benefits. Let's talk about the disadvantages of resisting digital transformation. And believe me or not, there are businesses in Pakistan, because I'm in Pakistan, so I'll be talking about mostly about the companies in Pakistan. So I know that in Pakistan there are companies who are still resisting digital transformation. So let me again tell you a real world case study. One of my clients, again, whom I work with, they once tell me, I mean, the chairman of that group, it's just a group of companies. There are many companies in that group. So the chairman once I was speaking with, so he told me that our profits are shrinking year by year. And we used to work with the British and American companies, so they used to give us a good sales price. And but now we are working with the Chinese companies, and they are not providing us a good sales price, and profits are shrinking. So because I'm working with them, so I know a little bit about the history of the company. And with this explanation of the chairman, let me tell you certain facts about that company, so you will understand what are the disadvantages of the resisting digital transformation. So I know that the group, they don't believe in technology, so they don't implement good information system, and I know that they don't have a good ERP available with them, and also they don't have a good supply chain management system. Though they do have a huge supply chain, but they don't have a good supply chain management system. So their culture of the organization is not good. It's such that their employee turnaround is quite high. Employee turnover is quite high. So good, they are unable to retain good talent with them. So and another example of inefficiency that is happening in there, that is available in their business operation, is that they used to take 5% as overheads in their cost structure to calculate the sales price. And once I challenged them and I calculated their overheads, and they actually worked out to be 15%. So they were using 5% in their calculations to calculate the sales price, but in actual, they were using their overheads were 15%. So all those inefficiencies were present in their operation, because they resisted the digital transformation, and because their organizational culture was not that good. And since they were getting earlier, when they were getting good sales prices from the British and American companies, so all these inefficiencies used to absorb their costing, and still they were able to generate some profit. But now the Chinese companies are not giving them the good sales price, so their margin is really shrinking. So inefficiencies are not absorbing anymore in the cost structure, and they are now apparent, and they are actually eating up the profit. So that is why they're saying that their profits, they're not profiting at the moment as compared to the last year. So this is the prime example, the practical example of what can happen if the companies, if the businesses resist the digital transformation. So all these bullet points that I've written here, the diminishing operational efficiency, increased susceptibility to the market disruptions, erosion of competitive advantage, stagnation of innovation. When you don't invest in the digital technology, that means that innovation is not there. Hampering adaptability to evolving business landscape. As in this example, the business has evolved as such that their customers have changed from British to Chinese. So they should have responded it had they wanted to continue with the profit margins, old profit margins. So they had to really evolve their businesses, but they didn't do it. Impeding the optimization of the processes. I know, I can tell you the example that I told you, their processes are not standardized, so they're not optimized. So they don't believe in it. Heightened cost, of course, if the inefficiencies are available in their operations, their cost would be high. If they don't have a supply chain management system, so that means that they have accumulated the obsolete inventory over times. So all these contribute to the heightened cost. Inefficient resource utilization. Of course, when you don't have systems, and if your business gets bigger, you cannot manage your business without the use of the digital technologies, good information system, good management systems. So your operation tends to get inefficient. Failure to leverage the full potential. Of course, as I told you that in the example, they don't have a good culture. Their employee turnover is high. So all those is contributing that they are contributing in a way that they are unable to retrieve good advantage from all the resources they are employing. All right. So at the last, digital transformation and the role of finance. So this is very important. In the last week, we discussed that finance professionals or finance function is the finance function acts as a custodian of data and serves as the hub of communication and coordination between the departments. So finance professionals should be really spending their time in advising the business, being partner to the business rather than doing the transactional work and manual transactions and reporting. So to be able to advise better, to be able to being better partner to the business, they need information, not only the financial information, they need the non-financial information. So and that availability and accuracy of the financial and non-financial information cannot happen when there is no digital transformation, when there are no optimized processes, when there are no digital tools available in the organization. So it is in the best interest of the finance professionals to have digital transformation in place in the organizations, because only then they can be available, or they have the good data available, so that they can utilize that data, that information, to collaborate with the business teams, and to work out different scenario planning, to work out different strategic models that can really help organization to survive and thrive in the future. So this is the role that the finance professionals are really should be looking to do. So I would believe that this is in the best interest of the finance professionals to actively participate in digital transformation, and even to the extent that they should be leading the digital transformation in the organization.